Okay, fire signs. This is your daily focus tarot for Saturday and what you should focus on. So we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is a card of like the high life, luxury. This is a very sharp-eyed card. This is appreciation of finer things, self-sufficiency, but it's also a card of living in your ideals, right? And to that end, we have the Artist, which is all about vision. It's all about using your knowledge of what you want in your inner self and making that change, putting it down, i.e. taking it from what you see, what you visualize, and making it physical in the physical world, and doing that through your creative abilities. Your creative abilities lead to this success, lead to living within your values, right? You use that creativity to make that life possible. Now, the other clarifier that came out with the Artist is Five of Cups. And Five of Cups, it can be a card about despair, about pessimism and personal setback, but it's also a card about an unrecognized opportunity, a hunger that's in your unconscious, and it can be a card of inheritance. So, what did you inherit in terms of what your values are, what your vision for your life is, and how you feel you should be living your life in terms of your values? What was the vision for your life that you inherited, and what's the vision that you're actually hungry for, the one that you want your life to be about? Now, the other cards that initially came out, the clarifier form, Seven of Pentacles. This is a card of the harvest. In this particular Seven of Pentacles, this is Pentacles are a harvest in the physical world. So a job, a career, a relationship even that takes place in the physical world. And this particular farmer, he's not sure if he wants to harvest these pentacles. He's standing there in a defensive stance, kind of looking at them like, do I want to or do I not want to? And the rest of the landscape around, you'll notice it's bare, except for this one plant that's growing these one pentacles, right? So that could also be a thing that he's wondering if he wants to harvest them because it's the only plant he has, and maybe he doesn't want to over harvest them. Now, the cards that this is clarifying, we have Two of Swords. This is being at a crossroads, being at a decision, and you're kind of taking your head off by trying to make this decision. It's something that you're very passionate about. It might even involve family. And you're trying to gain knowledge, but you're blindfolded. This, in a way, is kind of like justice too, because of the blindfold and because of trying to balance and trying to make that decision about your future, about like justice is the karma. It's reaping what you sow. So like if you're standing there and you're like not sure what your values are, like you as an individual, you're sure what you inherited for your values from your family, but you're not sure if you want to follow that same path. You're not sure if they're your values personally. And so you're not sure about wanting to harvest this. and you're at this crossroads and you're trying to balance out what your family expects from you and what you expect from yourself, what you want for yourself. Do you really want luxury items, or do you want more of a work-life balance? And then we have Nine of Swords, which is a card of anxiety, a card of fears. And the swords, they're all behind this person on the wall. They're all in a place where they can't harm the person. They can't hurt this person, but this person is still focused on them. This person is still focused on trying to balance these thoughts, trying to balance what they consider to be the good and bad sides. The conscious and the unconscious, the ego and the shadow or the superego. Then we have King of Swords. This is a card of using your knowledge, thinking through things very logically, discriminating on what your decision is going to be based on this logical thinking, and using that strength to make this decision and enforce this decision. And the Tower was the first card. So the Tower, it's the card of change. It's the card of you can't stay where you are. If you stay where you are, you're going to be in a world of hurt. There's not the world, like where you are and how you are in the world isn't going to exist anymore very shortly. This can be a card of an aha moment that helps you make this decision, that helps you realize, what to do with anxieties, what decision to make, and whether or not to harvest this. It can be a card that helps you do that. It's a card of transformation, just like death is. It's a card of things are changing, but this is you've taken too long to make this decision, so something is going to happen that's going to force you to make the decision. It's going to force you to yes or no. It's going to force you to decide what your values are and how you're going to live your life according to your values. It's going to force you to figure out what that vision is and find your opportunity, find your new pathway, the bridge over the troubled water. It's going to cause you to find that path, find that vision. And make this decision about this harvest, about what you actually want here in the world and what you don't want. Don't fear the Tower. Be thankful that the Tower is coming in. Be thankful that it's going to help you clarify and have the strength to, in the discernment, to actually say, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, and live in your values and get rid of this anxiety and fear, get rid of this indecision, and once and for all decide if you want this harvest or not. This Tower is really going to help you. And the Tower is thought of as, like an act of God. Like lightning is an act of God. Fire is an act of God. You can't really control it. It's not something you can necessarily plan for, or that it's not something that you can change. It's going to happen no matter what. It's destiny, So this Tower is, a lot of people fear it. They look at it in a negative light, but ultimately it's actually something good. So you want this Tower if you're struggling to make the decision, if you're struggling to know whether it's right for you or not, and you're having this massive fear and anxiety, this tower is going to bring you this clarity you need. Have a good Saturday. I'll see you tomorrow.